Trust in President Trump. President Trump has incredible instincts, and President Trump kept America and the world safe in his first term as president in implementing a peace through.
Man, I think Trump is actually in the most cucked position, and he put himself there. He wanted to negotiate a new Iran deal. He wanted to be like Mr. Strongman. I think that he was taken. I think Netanyahu starts bombing Iran, and that takes the Americans by surprise. Wait, hold on. No, that was the original story. Then it came out that we knew that the strikes were going to happen. Do we know how long before the strikes happened that we knew? Because that's important information. But because it's either we knew and we're going into negotiations with Iran. No, I think that it doesn't make sense that we would have known, because why would we still have talks with them in 3 days, right? Or 2 days later? It must have been the case that they did this without U.S. involvement. It seems like Marco Rubio wanted to say that the U.S. had no involvement. Everybody wanted to say that we didn't have any involvement until Trump was like, hold on, he's taking my spotlight from me. I was supposed to negotiate a deal. I think he's in a cucked position because he can't do either of the actions that would need to be taken. He either needs to go full force with the thing. At this point, it is that point. You either have to go hard or go home. And he doesn't want to go hard, and he doesn't want to go home. And half of his base wants him to go hard, and half of his base wants him to go home. He's in impossible. I think he's in an impossible political situation because, and I think that the thing that would have been actually, I don't know. My instinct is at this point, just finish the Ayatollahs. I don't know. But I also don't know what the full consequences of that would be. But they're about as bad as you can get, and they've been the sole, not the sole, but probably 80 to 85% of the chaos in the Middle East is a direct cause from them. So could it get much worse when they're actively going out of their way to use as many proxy groups as possible to just kill people? Could it get worse than that? Yeah. To cover for Israel, at least that's what I've seen. I don't think that it was covering. I think that he wants, I don't think that Trump would ever cover for anyone at his own expense. Does that seem like a very Trump move to you? I don't think so. I think that he just wants to be in on the action, but there's so much political blowback to jumping in on that action that they're taking this cucked position. Oh, maybe in the next 2 weeks, if something doesn't happen, then we'll lose anything, and we're not going to say, I'm a madman. You can't. Wait, hold on. There's actually a perfect little tweet for that. This is how our government's being run right now.
I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know.
You don't know. I may do it. I may not do it. I mean, nobody knows what I'm going to do.
Have you been answered questions about whether you are moving closer or you believe?
I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know.
He's fine. His supporters will always bend over, and even Republicans who dislike him will figure out some way to justify the things he does, which anger them. That's my we'll see how it goes. That's my initial reaction to I've said this, and people keep on telling me not to say it, but it is a true feeling that I have. I think Trump could. I think that maybe not the average, but I don't think that some of these people have any scruples or even like a sentient fucking conscious experience. They are literally just hate-filled little like shit beings that hate Mexicans, I guess. But like, yeah, I there are a segment of his supporters that will always find a way to do it. But this is a pretty like, it's a pretty big schism. I've never seen people actually mad at Trump except for with the Epstein files, okay? And that didn't last too long. This is something that like will have serious ramifications. And God, what a fucking freeze frame. Sorry, I just just noticed it. Anyways, let's just watch the fucking video.
The White House press secretary.
And listen, I could be entirely wrong on that. I'm in a better mood, and I want to see these people, you know, all fight each other.
Earlier was asked, what message does she have to Trump supporters who want the president to end U.S. involvement in foreign wars? Here's her response.
Trust in President Trump. President Trump has incredible instincts, and President Trump kept America and the world safe in his first term.
Don't listen to any of the things that people are saying that might make Trump look bad. Don't do that. That's cringe. And you don't want to be cringe, do you? You should just blindly follow the president and everything that he says and does. Statistically, I have to get a fucking treasure chest from this. Fuck.
As president in implementing a peace through strength foreign policy agenda.
All right, our panel's back. CNN special correspondent Jamie Gangel also joining us. Jamie, wonderful to see you. I want to play a little bit of what some of Trump's supporters said to CNN over the course of the presidential campaign, because I have to say, when I traveled the country, when I went to campaign events, when I was at the convention, this is something you would hear about regularly, that voters would bring up kind of on their own. They would say, I think Trump is going to keep us out of World War III or similar.
Yeah.
Let's listen to a little bit of this.
All this World War stuff that's going on, and, you know, I don't feel like we've been participating the way we should.
I'm interested in giving less money to foreign wars.
If Harris gets elected, we are going to go into World War III.
Trump is an anti-war president.
We need somebody who's going to stand up for the American people. Like, everybody focus on this war.
The only thing that could happen is Republican voter turnout could be slightly depressed in midterms, and that seems unlikely. Republicans aren't as easily suppressed as Dem voters. We'll have to see. Like right now, all I can my headspace is like focus on myself, focus on, you know, actually doing real shit and just watch what's happening. All we could do is watch. And I'm coming to accept that and seeing it. Like before it was just all fucking just evil shit. And it's still all evil shit. But like they're being really fucking retarded. It's like really kind of funny. If it wasn't so bad, it would be really fucking funny. Like if the stakes weren't so high and they weren't doing such horrible fucking things, it would, like, these guys are really fucking funny. Hegseth stumbling around drunkenly at the Pentagon, dude. Fucking leaking state secrets and saying like OPSEC is safe, and then, you know, intel people being like, I am absolutely baffled as to why he would feel the need to say out loud the OPSEC is safe. Like every single person is so fucking funny individually, but as a collection, it's like, I don't even know. It's, yeah, I'm not fully out of, you know, the anger space, but I'm coming out of it more. I feel better and less doomer. And now I can just watch the world burn, I guess. I
mean, sort of, there you have it, right? And
exactly.
What do you make of that?
Lindsey Graham was none of those people.
No.
Look, I think that what we're going to see here, if Trump decides to move ahead, is that he thinks he can bring the base along with him. There's no question that that's the way they feel. At the end of the day, I've spoken to several former Trump administration officials from Trump 1.0, people who watched him make difficult situations in high stakes moments like the Soleimani assassination. And what they say to me is Donald Trump is risk averse. And yes, people, the last person who speaks to him, yeah, in his ear, but at the end of the day, Donald Trump trusts his own instincts. And what we should watch for is, does he think at the end of the day, this will make him a loser or a winner?
David Sanger, one of the things, one of the people that has been talked about as a central figure here is Tulsi Gabbard, the DNI, right? Now, our reporting from our Katie Bo Lillis is that she basically has been kind of exiled from the White House. Trump's annoyance apparently peaked.
Really? That's crazy. Pandora 13? That is a super familiar name. How's it going, Pandora? How long ago were you like a regular in chat? Wait, hold on. You weren't a regular in chat. You came through on the YouTube chat relatively recently, right? But yeah, I haven't been streaming quite as much as I used to.
Reporting from our Katie Bo Lillis is...
One second, let me... So, like, the thing with Tulsi is pretty significant because she straight up, like, had her guys falsify national intelligence to justify Trump's deportation shit. So there's that. And then she's also, you know, I think she's a Russian asset. No, I was here one time and said I'd be back. I got you. There was another Pandora a long time ago, like years ago. But isn't doing the last thing yeah. Kristi Noem has banned Congress. Is that legal? Can you link me something about that? Is that legal at all? Don't they have the like legal right to go and check on those things?
And what we should watch for is, does he think at the end of the day,
damn, there was something I was
this will
gonna say.
make him...
Oh yeah, the Tulsi thing. Like the fact that Tulsi is you know, constantly being accused of being a Russian asset, you know, and she's like been a super simp for Iran. She's been a super simp for Syria. She's been a super simp for all of her adversaries for some reason, and a super aggro, like crazy person against our allies. And she gave a report to Congress not too long ago, I think in March, that said that, hey, you know, Iran's not going to be able to get a nuclear weapon in like the next 3-ish years. Like it's just not going to happen. Oh shit! I'm spinning. I need to reset this entire thing. Here, you're already in. But yeah, like if Tulsi was probably, in my opinion, one of the most horrendous fucking picks of the administration, and that's saying something because they picked RFK Jr. But like she's an actual danger to our society because she's simply just not on our side. She trusts foreign intelligence more than she trusts our own intelligence. You know, who bitched about cons than me and you dogged on leftists about being crybabies. Okay, let's fucking go. That's something we might hit on later. There was some leftist stuff, but he didn't care what she said. I maybe link that too. But yeah, like if there's an actual split in the GOP over this stuff, then good. Like good. If there's a split in the White House where she's not given access to the president, good. Because I don't think, like, even as much as I hate Trump, I still don't want her to be giving the president of the United States intelligence that serves our adversaries, you know?
A loser or a winner?
David Sanger, one of the things, one of the people that has been talked about as a central figure here is Tulsi Gabbard, the DNI, right? Now, our reporting from our Katie Bo Lillis is that she basically has been kind of exiled from the White House. Trump's annoyance apparently peaked This is according to our colleague Katie Bowe when she posted a 3-minute video warning the world is...
Tulsi is hard to nail down. I can't tell if she's just a complete retard or if she's just writing whatever wave exists at the moment. I don't know enough about her to say what the motivation is. But at the end of the day, whether she's retarded or whether she's, you know, ideologically driven for some reason, the fact of the matter is she shouldn't be in that position. And there's nothing that, like, I hate to say this, with Tulsi in charge, I am very skeptical, especially given the fact that it was proven that they falsified intelligence briefs to justify Trump's deportations. Like, it's going to be very hard when one of my biggest things is we need to build trust with the American people, with the government, right? When they're actively they're doing what they think everyone has been doing. But our government runs fairly efficiently. Our government is fairly honest about what's going on inside of the government. It's very hard to lie to the American people because there are so many watchdogs. And they're starting to find that out. They're starting to find out that all the things that they thought that were being done to them weren't actually being done to them. There is no deep state. They have to create the deep state. They are the deep state. And they're just really bad at hiding it. That's why I'm missing you, because you said what you just said. I say to myself, that's fair. I try to be fair. And I've even stopped hating on leftists as hard as I usually have in the past. But that's mostly just because I might be siloing myself off from seeing their takes because I don't need to see that kind of fucking stupid in my life right now. Sent link about what? Oh, about let's see what this is.
You don't believe Iran should be able to have a nuclear weapon, but how close do you personally think that they were to getting one? Because Tulsi Gabbard testified in March that the intelligence community said Iran wasn't building a nuclear weapon.
I don't care what she said. I think they were very close to having one.
You don't believe Iran should be able to...
And that's really fucking funny that our president is creating the distrust within our own government, within his own government, mind you. But the crazy thing is that it is impossible to trust her. And it's been, what, 30 years of people saying Iran's about to get a nuke, Iran's about to get a nuke, Iran's about to get a nuke, Iran's about to get a nuke. But there was a report that came out earlier this year that has never happened before with Iran. They have achieved 60% enriched uranium. That is significant. They've not done that before. There's no civilian application for 60% enriched uranium based off of like the 3 or 4 articles that I read and based off of the one video that I watched. You need like what was it, like 15-20% enriched uranium at most for nuclear power? Have to go run D&D about the bell. All right. I will catch you later, my friend. Catch you next time. But like, yeah, it's just
video
like,
warning the world is...
it feels like at this point, like it could be the case. And I think that it could be the case, like, given that information, I went back, and that was a UN organization, so I trusted a lot more. Thank you very much. I think it might be likely that they're actually pursuing a nuke now because they don't have Hezbollah, they don't have Syria, they don't have Assad, right? Russia can't help them. So it might be their only means of, defending themselves. And if that's the case, it might be justified to do this because Iran with a nuke actually would be really bad. I'm a lib. I don't want there to be war. I don't want there to be death. I don't want them to bomb civilians. So like everything about this is super fucked. But like there is one situation where I would be in favor of just like going in and doing exactly what Israel is asking us to do, which is destroy the centrifuges. And that is if they're actively seeking a bomb. And unless someone gives me some counter information, it actually seems entirely justifiable. And I'm actually really fucking irritated that Trump doesn't have the balls to fucking do it. Like, this is the one time I want Trump to make the fucking, like, hard fucking choice. Like, I think I want him to make the choice. I'm not entirely sold on it, but based off of the information that I've seen so far, it seems like maybe we need to blow this fucking thing up. Like, it seems like 2 bunker buster bombs will get the job done. And yeah, I don't know if I'm in favor of like regime change. I could hear arguments for it. Iran really is just that bad, but like, we can keep them from getting a nuke. If they are actually seeking a nuke, we should stop them from doing that. But yeah, I'm like I'm not super conflicted on all of it, but like there's some parts of this that are a little wacky, you know? How's it going, Remy?
We peaked. This is according to our colleague Katie Bowe.
I believe getting to 60% is really hard, so they must have made this decision maybe a year or two ago. But going from 60 to 100% is super easy. Yeah, I watched, not Ryan Chapman, that's the video essayist. Ryan Macbeth. He had a video about this, and he made a, was it him that made the Eminem, not allegory, but fuck. Sorry, and then I read sourcings and my ADD took over. Trump's solution was to blow up Obama's Iran deal and do nothing. Yeah, I know. But yeah, it is easier to go from 60 to 100. It's easier to go from 60 to 100 than it is to go from like 3 to 4%. And the reason why is his example, I think it was Ryan Macbeth that gave this example, was let's say you have a bowl of M&Ms and you want to select for only the green M&Ms. Well, you got the yellows, you got the blues, you got the orange, you got the reds, you got all these other colors in there. So you have to, you know, let's say you, someone gives you 30 seconds, right, to pick out all the green ones, right? So you go through and, you start like pulling out all of the M&Ms that aren't green, and then your time is up. And they say, okay, you have 30 seconds to separate all the greens out. So you take all the ones that aren't green. Well, now it's a lot easier because there's fewer things obscuring the greens, right? Organize the yellow M&Ms. It's easier to do the blue. Yeah. So that was his explanation. Actually, if you can link me that, because I butchered that explanation, but it is easier to go from 60 to 100% than it is to go from like 1 to 4%.
When she posted a 3-minute video warning the world is closer to the brink of nuclear annihilation than ever before.
It was quite a video. You gotta look at it.
Yes, blaming political elite and warmongers. Trump viewed the video as thinly veiled criticism.
Oh yeah, and then there's the fucking weird ass fucking video about the nukes. That shit was, I don't care who you are, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. That shit was really fucking weird. It was not normal to say any of those things. And all of them were just fucking not true. Why the fuck would the elites want to create a nuclear holocaust? What do they gain if society collapses?
Consideration to allow Israel to strike Iran, and many inside the White House agreed Gabbard was speaking out of turn. The person added, you know, obviously we know where she stands on expansive wars or you know, and non-ending foreign wars. But she also is the keeper of American intelligence. How are those two things interacting?
Well, not well right now.
Yeah.
I mean, the Director of National Intelligence is not there in a policy role. They are not there to give policy advice. They are there to give the best assessment of the intelligence community. And boy, did that come up today in the briefing, because the very last question that was asked of Carolyn Levitt at that briefing was, how long would it take the Iranians to build a weapon? And she said, well, there's been a lot of confusion on this. And then she went on to say it would just take a few weeks, which is essentially a Israeli analysis. The U.S. analysis, which really hasn't changed much in the past few months or even the past year, is it would probably take them a year, Maybe they could carve 4 or 6 months off of that if they built a faster, cruder weapon that didn't have to fit on a warhead. I've never heard, except at the White House podium today, anybody in the intelligence community, and Jamie, you tell me if I'm wrong here, say that they could build a weapon in a few weeks.
He is right, as always.
That's why we invite him.
Yes,
and you
exactly.
as well.
Everybody knows you don't put off the hard work till the last day of the semester, though. And so we shouldn't wait to take out Iran's capability to make a nuclear weapon the day before they can do so. Israel's done a great job of taking out their nuclear facilities. What the president has to decide right now is this the cheapest time to do it? Is this the easiest time? Because Iran's on their knees right now.
So let's watch a little bit. You mentioned that the video is remarkable, and we talked about the reporting. But let's watch a little bit of it. Congressman, you said that you served with Tulsi Gabbard. You know her, the director of national intelligence. Let's watch some of this video that she posted recently. Watch.
This is the reality of what's at
off message. Imagine you don't care about the fact that she's like a Russian asset or anything. You just care that she's off message.
Congressman, you said that you served with Tulsi Gabbard. You know her, the director of national intelligence. Let's watch some of this video that she posted recently. Watch.
This is the reality of what's at stake, what we are facing now. Because as we stand here today, closer to the brink of nuclear annihilation than ever before, political elite and warmongers are carelessly...
I don't think that little white streak is real. It is too perfectly placed. Fuck you. That's not real. You die that shit.
Fomenting fear and tensions between nuclear powers. We must reject this path to nuclear war and work toward a world where no one has to live in fear of a nuclear holocaust.
I mean, that is a remarkable statement from a director of national intelligence. From a political candidate, fine, but that is not what that was.
Yeah, some showmanship in there too, right?
Yeah.
I think what Tulsi's concern is, at least I'm not going to speak for her, but there is hesitancy in engaging in something over in the Middle East after we just withdrew from 2 wars, and I think that hesitancy is shared by a vast majority of Americans, especially those people who grew up in those 2 wars and spent trillions of dollars. Our nation is buried in debt partly because 2 of those wars. And so I think there's a lot of hesitancy in engaging in something like that. And I think that comes out in that video.
From a political perspective, though, that is not what you do in that job at all. And I think all you need to hear, what were Donald Trump's words? I don't care what she said. If you are in one of these treasured intelligence positions, that's not the way to use it.
Really, it's unlike anything I've ever seen from an intelligence professional. We heard most recently from Caroline Leavitt telling us what the president has not decided here. He has decided that he is going to, in the next 2 weeks, make some sort of decision. Take us behind the scenes.
And it's the cuckiness of it, the cuckiness of, oh, well, we'll do something. It's like, that's what I expect from like third world dictators, That's what I expect from Iran right now is I expect from Iran right now to threaten us and then not really have any, like, say we're going to hurt you at some indeterminate point in the future, and then not fucking do anything. Or like they're like waiting to see how things play out. And I think that's how Trump is dealing with this, and I think that's not going to do, I don't think that's good for us. It's like, we need flamethrowers. We don't need those yet. Iran is a nation known for being pussies. Well, yeah, they are pussies. They fund 1 million fucking people that will go out and kill people for them because they're too pussy to, they just cause chaos. They just cause death and chaos. And and for what? What have they gained out of it? Literally fucking nothing. Only the worst fucking countries on the world want to deal with them.
Yeah, Casey, that's right. And we asked a lot of questions about this, particularly 2 weeks. What does that mean?
And like, if there was someone who was smarter, even if there was someone as like, I don't know, Maybe not.
Exactly. Does that mean he's going to pull the trigger and approve some kind of an attack plan on Iran in 2 weeks if there is no deal made? Or he's just going to come to a conclusion within those 2 weeks? And we do know behind the scenes that there is a belief that there's still a chance for diplomacy. And that's obviously what Donald Trump here is trying to get at, what he's trying to do, because as you said, he doesn't want to act in this moment. Now, remember, this is not the first deadline that the United States has given Iran. We had 60 days. Now we're adding 2 weeks. And I asked Carolyn Levitt specifically about that extension, why we think we could get something done in 2 weeks if we weren't able to get it done before. Here's what she said. We have heard from a number of U.S. officials who say that Iran doesn't want to make a deal, that they are just stringing the United States along. What is to say that they are not going to continue to do so if we continue to give them extensions, now 2 weeks before 60 days?
Look, Iran is in a very weak and vulnerable position because of the strikes and the attacks from Israel. And with respect to the president's statement, I shared that with all of you. And he has been very direct and clear. Iran can and should make a deal. We sent a deal to them that was practical, that was realistic, or they will face grave consequences.
So you hear her there talking about how they believe that Iran has become weaker because of these strikes, which might bring them to the negotiations.
I do think that that's probably true. I don't think that Iran has literally anything. I don't think they're holding any cards besides their proxies, which aren't doing dick all right now. Like, their proxies just aren't doing anything. So, like, the question that I have really is, like, what are we scared of with these guys? Like, in the current form, well, the Houthis are still active. That's true. If we take out Iran, they won't be able to be active anymore because Iran funds them. Unironically, the Middle East could stabilize if they do regime change with Iran. Unironically, I'm not saying it's guaranteed. Like, far be it from me, because I don't know. Like, I'm not super well read up on everything, but like, Iran really feels like it's that destabilizing. They feel like probably the singularly most destabilizing force. I was about to say on Earth, but I think that Russia ekes that out just barely. An agreement of mutual defense with Russia? I don't know if that's true, but also I think Russia's already said we're not coming to help because how would they help? How could they help? Right?
Negotiating table. Now, there is something else that we know, which is the Middle Eastern envoy, Steve Witkoff, has been in touch, and his team has been in touch with their counterparts in Iran at this time during the last several weeks, during even the last several days. The question now is, will they come to the table? Because both sides seem to say that they don't want to budge. And one thing to note is that Witkoff did meet with the United Kingdom's foreign minister today. That is important because that foreign minister is actually going to Geneva to meet with Iran's foreign minister on Friday.
Okay, and now we'll watch this.
Israel.
Don't play it up there. Play it here. Thank you, sir.
Israel is attacking Iran due to Iran's efforts to enrich uranium. But what does enrich uranium even mean? Lucky for you, I do know a little bit about this stuff, and I did a 45-minute peer-reviewed scientific video on it called How Nuclear Weapons Work. You can find it at ryanbeth.substack.com or after this one. There's also a slideshow in case you want to do your own class. So I
watched that a long time ago. I feel like it was 2 years ago that he posted it, 3 years ago that he posted it. But I watched that a long time ago. It is very interesting. Highly recommend.
A basic primer with simple science and
a dangerous backlash to going after Iran is that the price of oil will go up, which will help Russia. Sure. We could also sanction the absolute living fuck out of Russia some more. I think Lindsey Graham's putting some legislation through Senate right now. But I think if Trump was like really smart, and this is like me as a retard, just like literally off the cuff, spitballing.
And some...
That's not what I wanted to do. Okay. Will Trump sign it? I don't know, but Lindsey Graham needs to be taken out. I'm fine with him putting out stuff against Russia. I think he is the weakest, most weaselly person in the entire fucking world. But like, let's say that there was someone who was like a little smarter in the Oval Office, right? Or someone who was advising the president. Like, and they were like an extreme war hawk. Like, this is me spitballing, all right? No guarantee, right? But let's say, okay, we're worried about the price of oil going up. We're friends with Saudi Arabia and we're friends with other OPEC nations. They really fucking hate Iran. Like, hey, we can get rid of the Ayatollahs, right? And if you guys increase production and, like release some of your reserves, like this will like soften the blow for us and we can take care of this for you. Like, could we not do some backdoor wheeling and dealing like that to avoid those consequences? Now, I don't know if that is at all like actionable or something that they would go for or anything like that, but he's a terrible excuse for your human, the pinnacle of an extreme Republican. Graham, I think Graham is weak. I think he's not the pinnacle of an extreme Republican. I would say that would be someone like J.D. Vance or some of the people we have in the Senate. I think that when it comes to Graham, he's just a weasel little snake, coward little spineless bitch who has no fucking morals and no fucking gumption. Anyways.
Israel is attacking Iran due to Iran.
Nah, I don't think MBS gives a shit. Are you fucking kidding me? MBS, that's the leader. Wait, am I being retarded right now? Yeah, Mohammed bin Salman. Fucking hasn't Saudi? Yeah, that's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't being retarded. Hasn't Saudi Arabia and Iran fucking hated each other for fucking forever? Hasn't Iran like bombed Saudi Arabia's oil fields like within the past 10 years? Haven't they been fighting proxy wars all over the goddamn fucking Arabian Peninsula in Yemen? Like, why would MBS not give a shit? Haven't they been in a proxy war for the better part of like 15, 20 years?
Iran's efforts to enrich uranium. But what is enrich uranium?
Oh, softening the blow for our benefit? Well, I mean, like, it would be like, hey, well, we're doing something for you. You scratch our back, or we scratch your back, you scratch ours. I'm spitballing. It could be entirely possible that they wouldn't go for something like that, but yeah, MBS wants the current regime gone yesterday. That's like why I thought like, well, if we're worried about oil costs, why don't we just like, we have some friends in OPEC and they probably want this done too. So why don't we like, I'm very sympathetic to calls for regime change, specifically in places like Russia and Iran. Like those two places, the people are actually fucking evil. China is an economic rival, and I think that a lot of the way that they govern is immoral, but like I don't see them as, and I could be wrong because I just haven't like focused on China in a very, very long time, and I've been very pissed at Russia and Iran. But like, man, I feel like China tries to play the long game, and Russia and Iran just fucking kill people constantly. They just fucking kill people constantly. They have probably produced the most amount of death in the past 100 years. Okay, they've probably caused more death in the past 100 years than any other singular country. I have to see how much influence Qatar has in OPEC. Well, they probably have a ton of influence, but does Qatar like Iran? Do they have? Well, actually, you know what? I thought everyone just fucking hated Iran.
Uranium even mean? Lucky for you, I do know a little bit about this stuff, and I did a 45-minute peer-reviewed scientific video on it called How Nuclear Weapons Work. You can find it at ryanbeth.substack.com or after this one. There's also a slideshow in case you want to do your own class. So here's a basic primer with simple science and some M&Ms. Now, there are multiple flavors of isotopes of uranium, but when you dig uranium out of the ground, it's mostly an isotope called uranium-238. Uranium-238 is not the explodey kind of uranium. But mixed in with that uranium-238 is another isotope, about 0.72% of the explodey kind of uranium called uranium-235. Don't worry about the science. There's my other video for that. Just know that the 235 isotope is the explodey kind of uranium that you want. So here's how you make a nuclear bomb. You dig uranium out of the ground.
Hey guys, this is for educational purposes only, okay?
You process it into a powder called yellow cake. Then you turn it into a gas called uranium hexafluoride. Then you spin the gas in a centrifuge that's going really, really fast. Since uranium-235 is slightly lighter than uranium-238, it separates to the sides of the centrifuge. Then you turn the uranium hexafluoride back into a solid, then you put it into a bomb. Now, if you're making nuclear power, you only need to enrich uranium to about 5% of uranium-235.
Oh, I was wrong, guys. You don't even need 15 to 20% enrichment. I misremembered. It's 5% enrichment. Iran is at 60% enrichment. There is no other purpose. And like if it was Trump's administration, like I hate to say that I don't necessarily trust my own government because it's Trump and they've proven that they will lie in order to justify doing some provably lie. But this was a UN organization that has been reporting like, hey, they don't have a nuclear, they're not getting a nuclear weapon anytime soon. They're not getting but now they're saying, hey, you're at 60% uranium enrichment. Why is that? And I think it's justified at this point, actually, which is, I wasn't at that position last week when it first went down. I wasn't at that position, but like I would be incredibly fucking nervous if we didn't do something about this now, you know? Close diplomatic and economic ties, particularly in the energy sector. Okay, gotcha. Japan, Korea, and India keep China in check for the U.S. Yeah, but like what I'm saying is like when you look at Russia and when you look at Iran, Russia, they fucking kill people like crazy, not just in Ukraine, but they also like decimated like one of their own cities in the late 90s. They're fucking killing people like crazy and they're like funding groups and they're not giving troops to African dictators, and they're prolonging strife there. There was less strife before Russia started moving into West Africa, and now there is more strife. Things were stable, and now things are very unstable. More people are dying as a result of them moving into West Africa. Iran, like, constantly funds dozens of small splinter terrorist groups all over the Middle East to just fucking kill people and like fight and just harass, and they're just fucking evil people. But like when it comes to China, and you guys could educate me, I just don't know. I have not heard anyone make the claim that China is funding extremist groups to go out and suicide bomb or like Russia is destabilizing countries all over the world. Hell, they're destabilizing us. China contributes to that. I hate them for that. But like, I don't see China as engaging in the same demonic activities as Russia or Iran. That's just, yeah. So I could be very wrong, but you know. But Sondsol, you forgot America Bad. True.
If you're making a bomb, you need to enrich it to about 90%. And note, you only need like 33 pounds or 16 kilos of uranium-235 to make a bomb. Making the bomb, especially a uranium-type gun design, is actually the easy part. The hard part is enriching the uranium in the first place. In fact, if you watch the movie Oppenheimer, they make the entire film about making the bomb. But the real story, like I think about 90% of the funding was actually geared towards enriching the uranium. The science on making the bomb was pretty much settled. If you put 33 pounds of uranium together, it will reach critical mass and explode. In fact, the bomb design that was dropped on Hiroshima, little boy, it wasn't even tested because getting uranium to critical mass is just physics. The scientists knew it was going to work. So why is it so dangerous that Iran is enriching uranium? Well, it actually gets easier to enrich uranium the more you enrich it. Think of it like picking the green M&Ms out of a bag of regular M&Ms. At the beginning of the sorting process, on average, a bag of M&M contains about 16% green and about 84% other colors. So if you're spending hours sifting and spinning and sorting, you get a handful of green. But once you develop a process to pick out the M&Ms, you get better at it, you can do it faster, and with every subsequent pass in the centrifuge, there's fewer and fewer impurities. It gets easier and easier to process. That's why the world freaks out when Iran gets past that enrichment threshold. Once you reach about 60% enrichment, the hard part's over. There's just fewer impurities. So it's easier to get to 90% enrichment from 60% enrichment than it is to get from 0.72% enrichment to 60% enrichment. Every spin of the centrifuge just gets them closer to that 90% enrichment number and a bomb. Now, the night that Israel attacked Iran, it was almost a full moon. That means 98% illumination. Here's why this is important. You never want to perform an attack during a full moon because it makes your aircraft easier to spot with the naked eye, and you lose the advantage that you have with night vision. And
this right here, I don't know why this matters, because the only reason that I know anything about military technology basically is because of Ryan Macbeth. And everything that he says is about like over the horizon attacks, and you know, we have bombs. We don't even have to fucking see anything to, you know, we don't have to put eyes on anything to shoot it, right? We can shoot from over the horizon with our jets, not even like with our nukes, with just our jets. So I don't know why we would worry about the time of day or how much moon or whatever. I feel like they would have to pick us up on radar over the horizon, right? Actually, does radar work over there? Radar can't work over the horizon. What? I'm fucking retarded. Why did I even say that? Radar can't work over the horizon, right? Can radar work over the horizon? Over the horizon, radar can detect. Oh, they reflected off the ionosphere. Okay, that's fucking... God, humans are fucking crazy. We can just invent shit.
Spot with the naked eye, and you lose the advantage that you have with night.
You can be seen in transit? Yeah, but like, why would that matter? I genuinely don't know why that would matter if you can... The Chinese concept of heaven plays a significant role. Okay, interesting. I'm impressed you knew about this. Knew about what?
And you lose the advantage that you have with night vision. You never want to perform an attack during a full moon because it makes your aircraft easier to spot with the naked eye, and you lose the advantage that you have with night vision and thermal equipment in the aircraft. The next new moon over Iran would be June 25th, 2025. So ideally, that's when you'd have the...
Internet gas. You've been around long enough to know that I have literally on stream watched entire long ass fucking documentaries. I have read fucking long ass fucking books. I've put in too much work for this stream. You know that. I know a lot of bullshit. I'm very confident about like my worldview. It's the discrete facts and the stupid fucking lies that everyone tells that have finally gotten to me. But I know a lot of bullshit. And I'm not a retard. I think I'm a smart person. So
the greatest advantage of an attack. So why?
Yeah, well hold on, Bones. Did you see a video, or have you seen anyone give a good counter narrative to what Ethan said there? Because I don't know anything. Watching his video, I took it at face value, and it seemed like what he said reading the thing was, nope, not at all. Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, it seems like he's actually like got them dead to rights. He set a trap and fucked them. But I could be wrong. I was hoping Rezi was streaming so I could get, the anti-Ethan, anti-Destiny narrative. No, I know, guess. I know. I need to stop calling myself stupid and start displaying that I know shit on stream, because I think people actually think that I'm stupid. And it's because I don't put out the image of myself that I should on stream. I've seen clips, but we've just been vibing today.
Why did Israel attack Iran when it had less of an advantage, when they're profiling themselves against a bright night sky? And I think that it's an indicator that Iran was really close to building a bomb. And that's why. So if you want to watch my full video on how nuclear weapons work, you can go to ryanmcbeth.substack.com. Dude, it's $5. Totally worth it. One more thing, check to see if you're subscribed. YouTube keeps on subscribing people. You can grab my Intel Life shirt at bunkerbranding.com. And thank you guys so much for watching.
Wow, this girl from Watertown sure is cool. Hey kid, what's going on? Think tank! You know, a girl from Watertown is kind of like riding a moped. It's lots of fun till your friends see you on one. What's really cool is a t-shirt or hoodie from Bunker Branding. Wow! Intel Life! Control-C, Control-V! That's exactly what we do! And Bunker Branding has all sorts of cool gear. Intel Life, Aerosol, Live, Laugh, Launch for Destroyer, Trident, HIMARS, and Patriot. Think outside the bomb. Drone Suite Drone, Department of the Boat People, Landmine, and even the tow missile. It would behoove you to grab one today. Girls from Watertown aren't cool, so wear your Bunker Branding gear. Now I know. And knowing's half the battle. Hey babe, you want to dance?
I will say this. I love his fucking commercials. I love Ryan McBeth. I think that he is probably, he seems pretty wholesome. He seems very knowledgeable about what he's talking about. I haven't seen any reason ever. I haven't seen anybody ever like try to fight him on anything really. I think he's just one of those people that's just like and I think he said he wants to be the Bill Nye of, defense stuff, but he definitely is that. I just like the guy.
How many people live in
Don is actually irritating to watch, and both of them are stupid. Yeah, that's kind of the reason why I didn't want to watch a 2-hour interview with them, because I don't feel like I'm going to get too much out of it, to be honest. So, but like I rage quit after an hour. Well, the only thing that's like kind of interesting is like in the clips that I've seen here, like people say that this is Tucker owning Cruz. I don't think so. This clip tells you yeah, it does, because every clip I've seen has been like this. This is asking a gotcha question that has nothing to do with, like, if you wanted to ask him, like, what are the ramifications? What possible, like, what are, like, but like, does it in any material way affect our decision to know what the ethnic makeup of Iran is? Does it affect our decision to get rid of their nuclear bombs? It's actually really funny to see a Trump cultist realize he's sitting in front of a Nazi. I would love to see like the exact moment that he realizes.
How many people live in Iran, by the way? I don't know the population. At all? No, I don't know the population. You don't know the population?
Yeah, and I see like all of these questions are stupid gotcha questions that have nothing to do with like whether we should or shouldn't do the thing. Like it really is just two retards fighting.
How many people live in Iran, by the way? I don't know the population at all. No, I don't know the population. You don't know the population of the country you seek to topple? How many people live in Iran? 92 million. Okay. Yeah. How could you not know that?
Because it's not really relevant.
I don't sit around memorizing population tables. Well, it's kind of relevant because you're calling for the overthrow of the government. Why is it relevant whether it's, it's 90 million or 80 million or 100 million? Why is that relevant? Because if you don't know anything about the country... I didn't say I don't know anything about the country. What's the ethnic mix of Iran? They are Persians and predominantly Shia. Okay, it's not even... You don't know anything about Iran. So actually, I am not the Tucker Carlson expert on Iran. You're a senator who's calling for the overthrow of the government. You're the one who claims anything about the country. No, you don't know anything about the country. You're the one who claims they're not trying to murder Donald Trump. You're the one who can't figure out if it was a good idea to kill General Soleimani, and you said it was bad. You don't believe they're trying to murder Trump. Yes, I do. Because you're not calling for military strikes against them in retaliation. And if you really believe that... We're carrying out military strikes today. You said Israel was. Right, with our help.
And then Cruz, our government and the Likud Israel government is going to make people actually believe the anti-Semitic conspiracy theories because they're so inept. They're so inept. They are making Jews look like they rule the world, and it's because they're too stupid to not say things. And if you really believe that, we're carrying out military strikes today. You said Israel was. Right, with our help. Okay, gotcha. Here, I'll jump to the Discord. Wait, Bones, you have perms. Why were you in the waiting room?
Oh, I just wanted to be polite. That's it.
Fuck you. Shut up. All right. So rant. Go ahead.
Yeah. I watched about an hour of this. For a good 5 minutes, Ted Cruz had something that was semi-reasonable and on the state of intelligence and how governments interact with each other in their intelligence agencies. When Tucker Carlson was like, oh, do you think the Mossad spies on us? Yeah, of course. Every other foreign country's fucking spying on us. And Tucker Carlson was in disbelief, that shouldn't happen. Ted Cruz is yeah, of course it probably shouldn't happen, but it's gonna happen anyways. We expect this. And it's just that was one retarded talking point.
Did he really not know that?
Cruz Tucker acts like that, we're fucking that we don't know anything, that we don't know that other countries are spying on us. That was one of the ways that Tucker was quote unquote jacking off in this case. I'm gonna keep saying that because it's fun as fuck. But.
Well, I mean, that's literally their entire fucking playbook is just asking questions, and it's so it's boring now, you know. That was shit that we dealt with in 2016 was the people just asking questions, and now we're back in it, dude. I feel like I feel like we're looping.
This guy was on Fox fucking News.
I know.
He's back over here in his little corner jacking off. And he just kept doing that until Ted Cruz just blew up on him.
Yeah, I did see the blow up at a certain point. That was spectacular.
It was hilarious. It was hilarious, but I'm just frustrated as fuck. Holy fuck, this is the state of foreign policy right now.
It is, and we deserve it.
Foreign policy discourse,
and we deserve it.
We do. We deserve to have two toddlers in suits fight over whether Israel is actually dictating foreign policy. He was fucking talking about AI hack and shit, and I'm oh my god. It was
Wait, they talked about AI hacks?
Whole fucking APAC, sorry.
Oh, APAC. Oh, no. Of course you have to talk about APAC.
Tucker Carlson's oh, so you get funding from APAC. Do you think that Israel's telling them what to do, which would require them to register as a foreign agent? But of course, because all of AIPAC's funds comes from American citizens who are pro-Israel, by the way, most of which are Christian.
Yes, that's true.
Really love the rapture, by the way. Let me tell you, some of these fundamentalists, these little Southern Baptists, they're so obsessed with the fucking rapture.
Yeah, they are. I know a lot of Southern Baptists. Okay,
and
they are.
And as Ted Cruz revealed later in the interview, like he resembles those interests. That because we help Israel, Sky Daddy is gonna be very happy with us, and we're gonna all be in heaven once hellfire rains down on earth and cleanses the earth, and we'll all be singing Kumbaya at the pearly gates. Like, that is what our fucking foreign policy is right now, according to Ted Cruz. Like,
well, did you see the text messages from what's his name Huckabee to Trump?
I've seen this picture. I haven't read it yet.
I'm just gonna read it out really quick. Let's see here. ArkansasMoneyandPolitics.com. Mr. President, God spared you in Butler, Pennsylvania to be the most consequential president in a century, maybe ever. The decisions on your shoulders I would not want to be made by anyone else. You have many voices speaking to you, sir, but there is only one voice that matters. His voice. I am your appointed servant in this land, and I am available for you, but I do not try to get in your presence often because I trust your instincts. No president in my lifetime has been in a position like yours, not since Truman in 1945. I don't reach out to persuade you, only to encourage you. I believe you will hear from heaven, and that voice is far more important than mine or anyone else's. You sent me to Israel to be your eyes, ears, and voice, and to make sure our flag flies above our embassy. My job is to be the last one to leave. I will not abandon this post. Our flag will not come down. You did not seek this moment. This moment sought you. It is my honor to serve you. Bros,
this reads like a shitty fiction novel excerpt. I'm not even gonna fucking.
It reads like some shit that I would like. It reads like a Warhammer 40K novel. Like it reads like some like dick suck administrator talking to one of the generals in a Dan Abnett fucking novel from 40K. It's fucking crazy.
For those that are in that have like a nominal like interest in lit YouTube, there's YouTubers that read like really shitty novels sometimes for content. There's a book called Empress Teresa. Sounds exactly like how the author of that book would fucking write shit. It is like terrible fucking writing. It is great. It's hilarious.
And what's it called?
It's called Empress Teresa. There's I need to find it. There's like a specific guy that goes over it. Crimson Rogue, I believe. And holy fuck, it is. He like goes like through like a 5-part series reviewing the book. It is trash, and it's like every part of it is just glazing the fucking main character, who eventually, like, synopsis, random chick gets powers and basically becomes God. And starts ruling the world and does really idiotic things to change the world to save it. And throughout the entire book, she gets glazed out of her fucking mind. Like everybody fucking loves her. It sounds like this. That's what Mike Huckabee's
the dick sucky statements are just it's beyond anything. The only like. Conservatives are either like really I don't even know, dude. Like I've unfollowed all of them. I don't watch their shit anymore. I keep up with the talking points like by osmosis.
You're in your castle arc, eh?
Well, it's not even. Wait, who was just in the call?
That was Redtron.
Oh, Tron.
He was sitting there muted.
Like it's not entirely a castle arc. I'm not opposed to talking to people who disagree with me. I don't want to talk to people who I think are not fucking real people, right? It's like the old I think Destiny used to talk about, like, I don't want to talk to people who are playing a character, like, because it just makes me look stupid. Like, I feel like that's how it is talking to every single conservative right now. Like, they're playing like a WWE version of themselves in order to like defend Trump, because the entire thing is just kayfabe. And there's like all this drama going on with, I guess I accidentally started for Reservoir because I said that about Gibbs, but like I don't want to talk to people who I don't think are real people. So it's not a castle arc. It's just
look, if Gibbs is really that ass, Matt, just like fucking talk. Holy shit.
I mean, like, if he can talk to me anytime he wants. Like, to be honest, I think that they had like much stronger words for him than I did in that conversation. I was so fucking high, I just like could not keep up with the conversation. Like, and like, I don't want to. I was telling Ice Beans and Rezi this yesterday, but like, I don't want it to come off like I'm trying to run away from the drama because like, oh, I'm just so small. Ooh, woo. Like, I was shit talking too. So if they want to talk, I'll talk. But I don't know what we would talk about because I don't think that they're like real people. I don't think that they're like, they have interest in portraying themselves as real people. You know, they just,
I saw this like years ago. The first person who's like very overt about it, KOE Nation. Like that guy right there.
Yeah.
Like I clocked him as like the moment he kind of stepped away from like the WWE shit. Like I watched like some of his like whiskey videos. So I was like, oh, this is neat. Like he's playing a character for sure. Like beyond like the Trump glazing, there could be a genuine person, but now the fucking the Trump glazing WWE character's taken over, and he's just completely insufferable.
Yeah,
he's just fucking memes.
Well, the
Like,
problem
that's all
is
he does.
it's like
I see him in
everything.
replies
Yeah.
just fucking memeing.
Yeah, exactly. Like they don't believe in anything, and I feel like when I used to argue with people, it was people who actually believed the crazy shit that they said. When I used to argue with the neo-Nazis, they actually believed the shit that they said. When I used to argue with Trump supporters, they believed the shit that they said. But like we're now in the information environment that Russia wanted us to be in. Nobody knows what information is real, so they look at the information that suits their side, and that is the truth. Russia has successfully psyoped the entire country, and we are in the full throes of it now, right?
We're now at the point where we have conservatives like regularly like siding with Russia or playing like so much ball with Russia right now.
Well, see, like I don't even think
as if one, they're a serious threat, and two, like that they could be like our allies or something. Like,
yeah, well, see, like that, I don't even think Russia was trying to do that, like as their primary goal. That's like secondary. I think that these retards are just so obstinate in the fact that their guy can't possibly be corrupt that they will literally side with anyone that seems like supposed to be on his side or against the Democrats. And against the Democrats means,
as long as you're winning the culture war, like they couldn't care less like what you do. Like
so fuck, what was I saying like right before, like 30 seconds
people
ago?
are fake as fuck. We were talking about Gibbs.
Yep, it's gone.
The Reservoir and Ice Beans, you were having a conversation with them. You were high.
Well, anyways,
it started some drama with that Gibbs.
Yeah, I don't want it to come off like I'm fucking running away from any of that shit. Do I think that these people are like actual dangers to society? Like individually, no, like not at all. So I think that's what their conversation was about. But I don't know how to have a conversation with someone who will sit there like the biggest example that I can think of is like very recently he was arguing with Relevant, and he just sat there and died on the hill. All three of the other people in the call tried to give him an out and say like, listen, you're arguing something that you don't believe right now, and like we're in the heat of the moment, that's fine, but like you don't believe this. And he's like, fuck you, I do believe it. He was arguing that he would rather protesters burn down his entire ranch to the fucking ground, all the trees, all the grass, all the buildings down to fucking cinders on the ground, then spray paint one of the walls of his building with ACAB. And then he went on to make the argument that Hassan makes for rioters that like, well, maybe it is better for them to burn down the buildings because they'll have, like arson insurance. He decided to sit there and die on that hill. Like he doesn't believe these things.
Wait, Relevant died on this hill?
No. Gibbs died on that hill.
Oh, Gibbs died? Okay. I was about to say, like, that sounds
Gibbs,
completely unlike him. But
yeah.
Gibbs, okay.
Gibbs died on that hill because he made the stupid fucking retard statement that he would rather protesters burn down all that he owns rather than spray paint ACAB on the side of his building. Because he has insurance on his building. And then he made the Hassan argument for the rioters. Right.
That's
so like
kind of crazy.
Yeah. And so like I feel the way that he argues, right, is like Yeah, I want all the Mexicans gone, all the illegals gone. I don't care if you're Abuelita who's just cooking fucking tamales in her fucking kitchen, not bothering anyone. I want you fucking gone. He argues like someone that would sit there with his foot on a fucking Mexican's throat and execute them fucking point blank to the fucking temple. That's how he argues. I don't think that's how he is. Just like based off of how I watch him like interact when he's not talking about politics, I don't think he's a demon. But he chooses,
there's probably like
to act like a demon because that is what politics is to these people. It is a performance, and I fucking hate them for it.
There's probably 3 options here. Option 1 is that he actually does believe it and he's just been holding that back for a while. I think that's the least likely.
Yeah.
Option 2 is that he got really frustrated in the debate and he said something that he really didn't mean and wanted to die on that hill for whatever reason, just so he could get a win in his head. Or 3, he's playing it up for clicks, which is, I think that's what it is. I think
that's what I think
he's playing
it
it up
is
for clicks.
I think it's that and I think it's a combination of the last 2. But
can I interject here real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
So within that conversation, Gibbs said something like 22 businesses were destroyed by these riots. He made that statement, like 23 businesses destroyed. So then everybody was like, whoa, that's a lot of businesses. Can you provide a link? And then the link he provided included graffiti. So then Gibbs...
That's how it happened. I remember now, yeah.
So then Gibbs was trying to argue that graffiti was as bad as arson.
Yeah, it's like...
That's actually even dumber. Holy fuck.
It's the total devotion to the talking point, you know? Thank you, Tron, by the way. Hopefully he hears that.
Fact checker Red Tron right there.
Fact checker Red Tron, thank you. But yeah, like it bothers me because one of the things that I enjoyed so much about like the whole debate space is like there were like cool conversations I've had, and I've been like, you know, thinking back on this because I'm about to be 30 and I'm just like replaying all of the highlights of my life before I, you know, become geriatric. And I'm thinking back to, you know, 2020 through, I think like mid 2023. And I had some of the coolest conversations I will ever have in my entire life. I got to learn about so many different topics on so many relevant things. This was a genuinely amazing experience to be able to, you know, stream and do this. But these people have no... I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Maybe I can't... It's probably a combination of these things. I can't tell like how much of it is just like me like losing the fight in me, right? Like, you know, there's the people like Nonfon and Rinyald's Notebook who are like epic debaters now, and good for them. Maybe I'm getting old, or maybe the quality of the people has just like significantly dropped. I don't like arguing with those people. I don't like arguing with people I don't think are real. And I'm trying to like fully I'm trying to find like the correct way to correctly formulate.
You're becoming
why
jaded with the atmosphere here.
Maybe it's that. Maybe I'm like trying to like long way explain something that doesn't need to that much explanation. But yeah, it's just fucking. It's so fucking cringe. So if they want to talk, we can talk. But that is my opinion of you, Gibbs, and any other conservative. So clip this. If they want to fucking talk, they can. I don't know what conversation we can have because they don't engender trust, you know? I think you need to reevaluate why you debate. Well, in the past, debating was like at the very beginning, we were all sold on this stupid fucking idea that we were like doing something, right? Like in a small way, maybe we're contributing to a broad, but like at the end of the day, we weren't fucking doing anything. We were fucking shit posting and essentially just arguing to argue. But we felt like we were doing something. Later on, it became, what can we actually do? And I think that the environment could have gone in a much better direction, but it just didn't. And so now we're stuck with this.
I think a lot of it has to do with, one, the politics space kind of building up pre-2020, and then kind of getting a big, massive swing during the COVID era where everyone was basically terminally online.
Right.
And from there, people found their niches in political, either activism, hobbies, and whatnot. Just political whatnot, basically. And from there, people developed communities. They developed their own little spaces. And there was a large amount of, not capital wouldn't be the right word, but a bandwidth for internet debate. Like, people wanted to see these personalities go towards each other because to some degree, these communities aligned with these creators. And on top of that, they just wanted to feel like they were winning in a certain way.
Yeah.
Basically turning politics into sports. And that's what it became for a long time. The most evident being the fucking, who's that one guy? He has ADHD, did something on stream, fucking Trainwrecks, here we go. Started with Trainwrecks, those people back in like 2016, 2017, where we had these like blood sports panel debates, and those kept going on, and then people like Dylan Burns kind of took that and model and made it something a little bit more, I guess, moderate per se, or moderated.
Moderated, yeah, more.
And then as Dylan Burns kind of leaned into the kind of theater of it.
Oh, well, let me be clear.
Less...
This isn't like a criticism of this space, like, just by itself. This is like the entire internet. It's literally the entire fucking internet.
Yeah, I guess so. I was kind of more tying it into the politics space, but
yeah, but that's the thing. I've tried to think of like other communities that like we could like go into, or there's like other like entire other fucking streaming websites. There's YouTube, and there's like you could stream on
Kick,
TikTok,
but like now, like
all of the platforms have the exact same issues, right? All of them have the exact same issues that I'm talking about. And like Tron saying, like, you should reevaluate why you debate. Like, I guess I need a reason to talk. Like, give me one good fucking reason to talk to someone like Gibbs that doesn't actually believe the things that they're saying, right? Like, what would be the fucking point? Someone that will like literally fabricate evidence like on the fly? Yeah, exactly. And I don't care for that. Like, I like having to sit there and deal with someone who will just manufacture information on the fly, who will lie about the information that they are giving you. Like, you're coming out on bottom every time there, because they don't believe what they're saying. You're arguing with essentially Bugs Bunny, who's setting up cardboard little cutouts for you to punch down, and then you look like a fucking retard for punching down the cardboard cutout. Like, that's what it feels like talking to someone like Gibbs, because they're not a real human being. So if there is a reason to debate, if there is a reason, I would love to hear it. Like, give me a purpose in life, okay? But like right now, it seems like these people are people that we should just like. I can't even like. I don't even think I could be friends with someone like that. Like, if you're going to pretend to be the demonic person that would like execute a fucking Mexican child because you're so tired of illegal immigration, if that's the way that you want people to perceive you, I don't want to be around you, even if that's not actually you, because you are telegraphing out to the world what your values are, and I don't want to be around someone like that.
Have you ever watched a video about the history about martial arts that were revealed to be complete like superstition?
I have seen a video about that, but
basically with the advent of MMA, it revealed that martial arts are just like cult religious behaviors, not actually martial arts. Like they're not actually effective in a fight. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, and then
most of the strategies that exist within each martial art form kind of revealed that it was more so for like entertainment or artistic purposes rather than achieving some type of goal in self-defense or combat.
Yeah, and like basically it was like jiu-jitsu and striking martial arts are the only ones that were proven to be. So you need to be able to grapple and wrestle, and you need to be able to strike, and those were all proven to be like superior martial arts. That you need a mixture of both of those. So like a judo master wouldn't win a straight fight against somebody who had a good mixture. Yeah, an MMA fighter. Yeah. What I was trying to say is, I consider debate akin to that you have your beliefs, you sit in your room by yourself reading news articles, and you need to practice the counters and the counters to the counters if you want to be able to articulate your ideas into the world. And that if you're not sharpening your sword against these people, then you're not engaging with reality or truth. And I realize that it's dumb to talk about truth, but like,
well, no, it's not dumb to talk about truth, like, because like that did feel like a major part to me, starting out. Like and especially as I stopped being a socialist and I became more, knowledgeable about economics, and I became more knowledgeable about philosophy. Like I felt, like there was something there. Fuck, I totally lost my train of thought. Jesus Christ, what was the beginning of my sentence talking about? Or what were you saying? Oh, sharpening your sword.
Something about
sharpening my sword. So achieving truth is like a goal, right? But I like, honestly, the only reason to debate would be to like continue to be good at debate right now. Like I don't have a broader reason to. Like I will, in the next couple of months, start having better time to like. I've been planning out what my life will look like in the next couple of months. And I think I'll have more time to at least do panels, if not like be live while doing it, maybe like record it and post it, but like, or like, it would be nice to do debates, but against who is the thing? Like it feels cucked. It feels like I'm being made to look like a fool for talking to these people, right? Like, and I can't shake that feeling the entire time I'm talking to them. Like, because
have you watched?
It's the feeling that you're being trolled.
Yes. The entire thing is just a fucking troll.
So Pisco debated Rob North. And
again.
Wait, when?
One of the times he did it, he went back through and did like a line by line breakdown with like, I want to say a debate coach person. And like they were constantly showing, hey, he's not even addressing the question here. Hey, this is a lie. And then they like looked it up. I feel like with somebody like Rob Moore, you would need to devote some crazy amount of time to the post-op where you actually learn.
Yeah,
because you're basically having to learn not only like his strategies, but also like where he's wrong and why he's oftentimes intentionally being incorrect here.
Yeah. Well, like I'll probably never speak to Rob Noor again. I super torched the fuck out of that bridge. So that's probably never happening.
When it comes to people you should talk to, I think you should talk to people who want to talk to you. And I think you should push on TikTok/shorts and just grab random people. I think a random person probably has close to the same level of debate skill as like top tier conservative YouTubers.
I mean, like, I'm not like scared to debate people. Right now, I think it would probably be pretty hard to find someone to want to talk to me. Hey, if anyone wants to put out feelers for me and say, hey, there's this YouTuber, you're saying some pretty dumb stuff, why don't you talk to him? If y'all want to do that, you guys are more than welcome to if you're listening. All right. If you want to be a producer Tron, then you can be producer Tron. But the
No, I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying don't worry about talking to content creators because they're not going to be much smarter than their viewers. I'm saying put a phone number on the short stream and answer phone calls.
Okay, you know what? I will spend tomorrow after work setting up that fucking phone number. But we're gonna have to. It seems way more complicated than it initially did. Like only after I signed up did I think it was going to be more difficult than I initially thought. But the
other option is you could get a burner phone or have somebody send you a burner phone.
Yeah,
I think Google Voice also can give you like a VoIP.
I tried Google Voice. If you can figure it out, then be my guest. Show me how to do it. But I tried for like 3 hours to set up a Google phone number, and it just would not give me the fucking phone number.
My biggest issue is that a lot of stuff can dox you. Like your phone number can dox you, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so I'm not putting my fucking phone number out.
Well, I'm saying if you bought a phone in your name, it might be able to dox you.
Oh yeah. Well, you'd have to get like a fucking. Well, I don't know how if I bought a burner phone, how I would use that on stream.
I believe Android has a whole system where you can receive text messages and phone calls to your computer.
Well, I'll be damned. Maybe I'll go get a shitty little burner phone. But then I have an additional expense for stream that would be a fucking phone, a phone line, and I feel
like you could cut out the middleman and just get the fucking the number. I feel like there's a way to just get the number that way. All you need to do is just feed the audio line through your mic to wherever, and just have like an extra channel that's dedicated to calling. I don't know.
Listen, if someone can fucking troubleshoot that for me, I'll try and look at it tomorrow. Like, I think Google Voice would have been the easiest option. Like, I've used Google Voice in the past, but for some reason it just wouldn't give me a fucking phone number. So I guess
you're on the list.
I just looked at the
Sondsol.
time. It's 9 o'clock here, so I need to head out. Is there anyone worth?
Oh yeah, you're cucked.
Well, I haven't eaten literally all day, so I would like to. I would
go fucking
desperately
eat something.
This is what Vyvanse does to me. Actually, you know what? This is something I haven't said on stream at all. I don't think I have an eating disorder. There's something wrong with me. I am actually disgusted by food recently. Like for the past 2-ish months, like I've been eating maybe 1.5 meals per day because food is just super fucking gross. Like I'll get hungry.
I don't have an eating disorder. Also, Sondsol, I think food sucks. It's disgusting.
It's like I'll get like super hungry, and then like while I'm cooking, the smell will hit me, and then I'll just like get super grossed out, and I'll only be able to eat like half of a fucking like a half bowl of ramen. Is like my average fucking meal. Is that a bad thing?
Maybe you're pregnant.
Wait, what?
It probably is a bad thing. Maybe you're kind of generally disgusted by eating.
Wait,
might be
Bones,
a side effect
Tron's,
of Vyvanse.
wait, Tron's trying to say something 3 times. Say it again.
Maybe you're pregnant.
Maybe I'm pregnant. Okay, I thought you said something about my apartment. Maybe I'm pregnant. What were you saying, Bones?
It probably is an issue.
Like
I don't know, that seems like
there's
something
a
you
lot
should
of
probably talk to with your doctor. I don't know.
Assuming I have a
can't give
fucking
medical
doctor.
advice, so.
Have you had COVID lately?
I have not had COVID lately. I haven't had
I was about
COVID
to say,
since 23.
WebMD. There you go. There's your doctor.
And see, like I thought about using WebMD or like ChatGPT, but then I was like, I'm not sure if like that's gonna give me something that I should be like too scared about, and then I'm gonna, yeah. Anyway,
it's liver cancer, Sondsol. It's liver cancer.
Yeah, I've finally given myself cirrhosis. Van's Warped Tour was the last fucking thing. I drank myself into a tizzy listening to fucking Swaco, and now I can't fucking live. All right, I gotta.
This is your mind on Twitch politics.
Yes. We'll raid into Non-Fawn. Speaking of Admiral Gibbs, it looks like he's talking to him right now. So raid at Non-Fawn. Is that his username? Oh, Non-Fawn 420.
I think it's Non-Fawn 420.
Yeah. All right, everyone, go and... Oh, invalid username? Fuck you. Raid. Non-Fawn 420. All right, everybody, go and... pile into here. Everybody, if you like debates, if you like stuff, and you like data mails, I haven't ever talked to Nanfan directly, but he is the new breed of Twitch debater on the left.
He's
okay?
a fucking nerd who loves economics.
He is a
the
fucking nerd.
one guy who will touch economics.
Yes, he is a data mail. All right, I
unless
love
you're
you
a
guys.
convoy.
All right. Oh yeah, kind of boy too. All right, love you guys. Bye bye. All right, and then we go down here and we hit in stream. So, well, welcome. For people that are new, if you're watching on YouTube or if you're watching on Kick, I'm Sondsol. I am a political science student. I like to talk about politics. I like to argue about politics. We talk about all sorts of fun things on here, like drama and politics. And I like to argue with people in chat about a lot of different things. Like, comment, and subscribe. I don't like to shill all